I'm joined now by Damien Chevallier, who is the director of the Maritime Safety Division for the International Maritime Organization. He joins me on Microsoft Teams. Damien, thank you so much for your time this morning. Let's start with that warning from your Secretary General. If naval escorts can't guarantee safety, what realistic options are actually left on the table to protect vessels that are looking to pass through the strait? It looks like, unfortunately, our line might have dropped. Let's try again. Damien, can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you for your invitation. And sorry, some technical issues this morning.
Worry not at all. I will repeat my question just in case that dropped out as well. So let's start with the warning from your Secretary General. You know, if naval escorts can't guarantee the security of ships, what realistic options are left on the table?
Thank you. So indeed, it's a very critical situation, as you mentioned. So we have 20,000 seafarers in the region, stuck in the regions, and so close to 2,000 vessels. So what is the solution? It's really to sail through the Strait of Hormuz and to secure the fact that we will not have any attacks. So I will say, only safe solution for all the seafarers is to have a ceasefire on the Strait of Hormuz. And of course, as you mentioned, so military escorts could be an option, but we know that it's not sustainable regarding the number of vessels sailing through the Strait of Hormuz every day. And also it's not a guarantee regarding also the geographical configuration of the Strait of Hormuz and so how it's easy to target a commercial vessel with drone or missile. So it's the only way is really to not have any hostility on the Strait of Hormuz and to secure a safe passage to all the seafarers and vessels to sail through the strait.
Is that the solution that the International Maritime Organization is pushing for? You know, you do have this opportunity because you speak to all the countries involved.
Indeed, last week we had an extraordinary session of our council, and so the council decided to give a mandate to the Secretary General to establish a safe framework, safe maritime framework. And so there is discussions, there are ongoing discussions with all the parties involved in the conflict and also with all the coastal states to try to define the best option and to have a good coordination also to secure the safety of all the seafarers.
Have you seen any green shoots emerge from those conversations with all the various parties, with all the countries?
There is ongoing discussion. At this stage, it's premature to say anything regarding the potential outcome because, as you mentioned, it's a war zone at this time. So it's really important in this context to have discussion and to be able to discuss with all the parties to identify all the elements that could help to define and to implement concretely this safe corridor.
I mean, at the moment, we are hearing that ships and their crews, of course, are effectively stranded. You know, there's a sort of round number of 3,200 ships, but, you know, that's the numbers being bandied around at the moment that is stuck. You know, people are running low on food and supplies. From your perspective, how urgent is the humanitarian situation right now? You know, putting global trade to one side for a minute.
It's an important aspect to secure the fact that all the vessels will have enough supply, food, water, fuels. And so we are also in contact with all the coastal states to secure that there is no problem. And so I will say at this stage, in general, we don't have any particular problem because it's a short-term, I will say, crisis at this stage, but we are also anticipate more long-term. So it's really important that we continue to discuss with all member states to secure that all the vessels have enough supply.
So, as we all know now, I don't think people knew before the conflict, but we all are fully aware now that 20% of oil and gas flows through the strait. What are the knock-on effects that you are already observing on global trade and supply chains?
Indeed, as you mentioned, so 20% of the global supply and oil, it's very important, but not only about oil. So there is also 13%, for example, of global chemical trade, including fertilizer. So there is a potential crisis on the global trade on a mid-term and long term. So, and we face other crises in the past, for example, in the Red Sea, but there were some alternative route for shipping. In the configuration of the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf, there is no real alternative. So we need to find quickly a solution indeed to limit all this impact.
We've heard some suggestions that certain vessels would be allowed through by the Iranians. They've described them as, I think, non-hostiles. Do you think that that is a realistic situation for ships? Do you think if, for example, it is a Chinese ship and China's got nothing to do with this conflict, do you think a Chinese ship would be able to pass through the Strait of Hormuz safely?
So first, I will say it's difficult to define nationality of a vessel because you have a crew with a lot of different nationality in general, and they are, I will say, all innocent seafarers just working to contribute for this global trade. So there is no, I will say, it's really important that all the parties discuss to find a solution and to prioritize regarding the situation of all these vessels stranded in the Gulf.
Okay, so at the moment, your advice is pretty clear by the sounds of it that ships should not sail through this area, that it's just not safe. What specifically would need to change before that guidance can be lifted? What assurances are you looking for, and from whom?
We are looking to find an agreement with all the parties to secure a ceasefire on the maritime domain and to secure that no any vessel will be attacked when they will sail through the Strait of Hormuz. So I would say the solution is very easy, but all the parties need to discuss, and we have to help them to discuss together to find an agreement for that.